completely, as you said, someone special. These are the special people who can think this way also, right? So this is one chapter which will give you a lot of meditational material. You need to understand that we are not here for a storytelling session, nor we are in a picnic session, but we are in a very, very dueling business related schemes. What is it that I'm going to take away from all days, every chapter, something as a takeaway. So why? Because this is a natural progressive phenomena of a living entity. To understand the intricacies of how it has got evolved, involved, and got entangled so badly. So now the only option for us now is to see how we can overcome all these kind of inabilities and see how we can take ourselves to the next level by just exiting out of this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So yesterday we discussed a very important subject matter. Let me just load it and then share the screen. That is, can anyone tell us what is the chapter we discussed yesterday, or it is OHT? You know what
Three
OHT
modes
is?
of material nature, Prabhu.
Sir?
The 3 modes of material nature.
Okay, not bad. But
Chapter
you know what?
14.
Yeah, you know what an OHT is, right?
What?
Overhead transmission. Whatever I have told, it has gone beyond the head. No one could contemplate or understand all these things. So how many 3 modes? What are the 3 modes of material nature?
Passion, ignorance, and goodness.
Sattvam, Raja, and Tama.
In Sanskrit, David, do you leave the Sanskrit on?
Yeah.
Sattvam, Raja, and Tama.
Tama.
Always say it in ascending order. Otherwise,
Ascending order.
correct. Okay, all the 3 are Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So we know the some salient features of all these different set of living entities who are put in that boxes, right? What do you think? I will give you some questions. Let me know whether you're right or wrong. Okay. Okay. Have you heard of yogurt rice?
Yes, Prabhu.
Great. So what mode is it in?
Goodness.
No, I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to ask all of them. And one more thing, you will have to chant one round full if you answer one question again and again by the same person. Everyone, a dialogue, not a monologue that one person speaks, just speaks. If Pratap Mehadas speaks and only then, that's all. What about the rest of the people? We want everyone's inspiration to be a part of it, right? Okay, so first question is yogurt rice. Which mode?
Goodness.
Goodness. Why goodness?
Because it tastes good.
Just because it tastes good. For me, pizza tastes good. Is pizza a mode of goodness or passion?
Passion.
Or ignorance? Or ignorance?
Passion. Depends. If it's there,
Depends on what? Who said that answer?
it's
Depends.
meat, Prabhu. If it's meat, then it will be ignorance.
Okay, otherwise?
Passion.
Passion.
Why you can't make it as goodness?
Yes, of course you can. Yes.
Offer it to Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you make it goodness?
Oh, by
Vegetables on it.
If you don't use chilies, it becomes mode of goodness. Okay, chili. What is chili? Mode of ignorance or passion?
Passion.
Passion.
Passion. Why is it passion?
Because it's spicy, hot.
Okay. Is a jeans pant mode of goodness or passion?
Which one?
Goodness.
Jeans pant.
Goodness.
Depends who's wearing it.
It covers you.
See how many different answers I'm getting for all these things. Someone saying goodness, someone saying passion, someone saying ignorance. If it's owned by a homeless guy, it's ignorance. Okay. So I'm just trying to understand my own thoughts that what is it that, how do we understand this? Each of the goodness, passion, and ignorance is not based on the individual items we actually bucketed. We identify by its quality and its activity which is going to be performed. So let us understand it that way, right? For example, a yogurt is made up of, we need to go to the root for everything. Yogurt is a product of milk. Milk and dairy products potentially or in the mode of goodness. So in the same way, we equate all those kind of things. For example, chilies is a mode of passion. It's not ignorance. We don't use the usage part. We use that as an individual and identify. I'm just giving you a raw, just to get all of us in the same page. So we have understood the three modes. Krishna is asking Arjuna to come out of those three modes so that he is able to impress himself into the serious business of fighting with the Kauravas. So in order to do so, Arjuna needed more passion, but Krishna is not allowing him to be in passion. He is bringing him from mode of ignorance to passion to goodness and making him go back to passion so that he works hard. So now we are going to the next level, which is Krishna's personal presentation of himself, right? What is it that he's trying to present? He's trying to present how the spiritual realm is and how is it that the material realm was created or it is related to the spiritual realm, because there must be some kind of a relationship, right? Where is it that we are and where is the spiritual world, how it has been equated, and how is Krishna actually dealing with these things? What is it he trying to present it to all of us? And what constitutes to be something called the yoga for the Supreme Lord himself? What does he see it? So this is called the chapter, the yoga of the Supreme Lord, right? Supreme person. So that is what we are going to touch upon today, which is chapter number 15. One second, let me share the screen. Yoga of the Supreme for all of us today. Sharing. Let me know if it's all shared. Great. So
Yes, working problem. Thank you.
brilliant. Thank you. Yes. Great. So we go to the first page. That's what is essence of Bhagavad Gita. And we pray to the Lordship, Shri Shri Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Sudarshan Bhagavan, and Giriraj Govardhan to bless us so that we are connected to the Lord's feet all the time. Okay, so please join me in the prayers to the spiritual masters, who are the only ones who can give us the energy, the constitutional position for us as their servants in order to get and blessed by this knowledge. Om
Jnana Tinaranda Jnanandjana Shalakaya Chakshur Salimena
Krishna Prasad Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami
Brahmani Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishya Nirvadi Karne Jai Shri Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivadadi Vrinda
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Okay, so this is another wonderful inspiration from Gita Mahatmya, Sri Vaishnavaya Tantra Sara. Samsara Sagaram Goram Tartum Ichati Yo Naraha Gita Navam Samasadhya Param Yeti Sukhena Saha. A person who wants to cross over the ghastly ocean of material sufferings can do so very easily by taking the shelter of the boat of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It's a beautiful verse which is very, very clear to us that we need to take the shelter of the boat of Bhagavad Gita. These pages are the only solace for us. In these pages are the only way by which we can overcome these difficult situations, turmoils, turbulations in every single one's life. Whether it's good, bad, ugly, it is the only solace for us. That's why we are investing our wonderful, important time. And I'm sure that everyone is going to take shelter of the lotus feet. Okay, so this is the chapter 15, the Yoga of the Supreme Personality of God at Sri Krishna. Okay, now you see a wonderful, beautiful tree here. It's a forest place, beautiful place, walking nice forest pathway. And you see this. So can anyone tell which is real?
The top one.
The upper one.
The upper one, not the one on the reflection on
Not the
on the lake,
reflection.
on the river. Yes. Why is it so?
Because the reflection is not real. It's an illusion.
Illusion.
It is not illusion.
It's a
It
reflection.
is real, but it is
It's real.
temporary
It's
in
real,
its
but
nature.
it doesn't have substance. It's a reflection of the
Yes.
reality.
Yes, it is definitely not unreal. It is real. Even the reflection is real, but however, it is only a temporary presentation of the original one.
Yeah, it's a reflection of the real thing.
Okay, now we come to a wonderful, very interesting. It's a very interesting story. Our Queen Elizabeth, she had a beautiful diamond necklace. One day she was sunbathing. Don't ask me in which place and all that. Whether maybe in Norfolk or in Windsor Castle, whichever you can consume so. So one day she was just sitting and probably sunbathing, and suddenly a monkey in the tree which was watching. Don't ask me again. These are all assumptions. Okay. So the monkey in the tree was watching something very strange, and it was very glittering. So it jumped. It took that and it ran away. It ran away so fast, and then no one could find it. So the king, the queen, everyone put an order: find that monkey at any cost. I want the diamond necklace. It's mandatory. You have to bring it at any cost. They struggled, tried everything, anywhere, everywhere they went, nothing happened. There are a set of farmers or the people who are there hanging around. They are the people, suddenly they saw some kind of a reflection. So they searched and searched and searched. Everyone jumped into this river, and they found that there is a reflection of a beautiful necklace. They jumped into that, and they suddenly find that the necklace completely disappeared. And after some time, it came back again. So like that, many farmers tried to bring it out. They were the people who are very enthusiastic to know, very inquisitive. They jumped, they tried. They couldn't find exactly where that was. They were like, one sage was sitting there in the corner. He was thinking, and then he thought there must be something wrong. Let me go and see. So then they started, these people one by one, they jumped and they tried and searched everywhere in the bottom of the river and all that. They could still find it. So they found the sage coming in. So they asked the sage, we see the diamond necklace of the queen, but we are not able to find it. Every time we jump into the river and then we try to catch that necklace, it gets disappeared. So there is something very mystical about it. So this sage is a very intelligent man. He did not see the river, but he saw something above the river. What was it? Then he saw there is a tree. I'll show you. There is a next one is an exact replica. There is a tree which was having that necklace which was dangling. So he said that what you are seeing is a reflection. So these people were ignorant of the fact. That's why they could not really identify what exactly where the necklace was. So here Krishna is explaining us in the first sloka of the 15th chapter, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Urdhamulam Adashakam Ashwatam Prahur Avyayam Chandamsi Yasya Pranani Yastam Vedasa Vedavit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree. Yesterday we were also discussing about the banyan tree. Here is another reference. There is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches downwards, right? Whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. So you see that presentation of the Supreme Lord is in such a manner that there is a beautiful reflection of the spiritual realm in the material world. The entire tree, which is supposed to be perfectly presented, is in the spiritual realm. But the reflection, what we are actually noticing it, is exactly as it was in this first photo, right? There's a tree which has a complete reflection. The roots, which are actually upwards, not downwards, it's upwards. And you have the branch, extremely spread all across. So Shastras explain that the leaves are the hymns. Each of the leaves are presented in a very specific fashion. So let us go to the chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I will exit here and then read this because this is an important verse. And we will. So what does the Supreme Lord says? The Supreme Personality of Lord has to have some kind of a very important discussion. It's a long para, but we need to read it. It's very important. After the discussion of the important Bhakti Yoga, one may question, what about the Vedas? It is explained in this chapter that the purpose of the Vedic study is to understand Krishna. Vedesha Sahre, Ahameva Vedya. We'll come to that 15:15. Therefore, one who is in Krishna consciousness, who is engaged in devotion service, already know the Vedas. The entanglement of this material world is compared to a banyan tree. For one who is engaged in the fruitive activities, there is no end as it is for a banyan tree. He wanders from one branch to another branch to another branch to another branch. The tree of this material world has no ends. And for one who is attached to this tree, there is no possibility of liberation. The Vedic hymns meant for elevating oneself are called the leaves of this tree. The tree's roots grow upwards because they begin from where Lord Brahma is located, the topmost of all planets on this universe. If one can understand this indestructible tree of illusion, then one can get out of it. See, this is the fact what is actually happening to all of us. Understand this. This is a very, very important thing. This tree has a complete reflection of the exact replica of the original tree, which is coming from the spiritual realm. So you can notice this. The impersonal Brahman, Brahmavadis or impersonalists take Brahman to be the root of this material tree. From this root, many things come out. What is it? Sankhya philosophy, Prakriti, Purusha, three gunas, five elements, Pancha Mahabhuta, the 10 senses, Dashendriya, includes mind, etc. In this way, they have divided the whole material world into 24 elements. If Brahman is the center of all manifestation, then this material world is a manifestation of the center by 180 degrees. The other 180-degree constitutes the spiritual realm because it's a reflection. The material world is a perfect reflection to the spiritual world, must have the same variegatedness, but in reality. Prakriti is the external energy of the Lord. Purusha is the Supreme Lord himself. That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Since this manifestation is material and temporary, the reflection is temporary too, for it is sometimes seen and sometimes not seen. But the origin from where the reflection is reflected is original. The material reflection of this real tree has to be cut off. When it is said that a person knows the Vedas, it is assumed that he knows how to cut the attachment from this material world. One knows this process, he actually knows the Vedas. One who is attracted to the ritualistic formula of the Vedas is attracted to the beautiful green trees, leaves of the tree. He does not exactly know the purpose of the Vedas. The purpose of the Vedas, as described by the personality of Godhead himself, is to cut down this reflected tree and attain the real tree in the spiritual world. So you see here, this is what the tree's display is all about. You've got lot of branches, lot of leaves. People naturally have a tendency not to be sitting in one place. They all like to travel. Everyone likes to travel. So they've been traveling in the entire world, entire cosmos, time immemorially. It is not just in our own body as human beings we are still stuck here. We have been in that 8,400,000 species. It's a transmigration. We've been going that. The greatest migration which anyone can actually practically see in this world, even though you don't practically see this transmigration of 8,400,000 species, but you can still, if you go to the BBC documentary or National Geography, right, there is a migration of wildebeest in the Masai Mara. There is in South Africa, there is two forest reserves. One is called Masai Mara and another one is called Serengeti. So you can practically see a wildebeest. It's like a zebra and it's supposed to be going from this place to another place. It goes in such a manner every year. Its job is to only go from this reserve basin to another reserve basin. That's all it is. It's migrating. So like that, we have been migrating time immemorially, right? Brahmanda Brahmite Kone Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. Because we have been going from Brahmanda in the entire cosmic manifestation, we've been going up, down, wherever we can think of. We have taken that kind of a form. We have taken those bodies. And now we have come to such a situation that we are not able to contemplate when someone is trying to tell you that, hey, be careful. This is the crossroads of your evolution. Be careful. Don't go downsliding. Be very conscious about it. Look at an option for you to go upwards, upward mobility. Don't ever think of going downwards. So in order to go upward, you need to know the Vedas. You need to understand the complete essence of the Vedas. Why? Because you need to slash this tree, which is extremely powerful because it's a banyan tree. It's not something softer. It's a rugged one. It's a hard stuff. So in order to break that one, that's considered our material existence. So we should be conscious about to cut this tree, which is strong with attachments. Our attachments can be our own relationships. Our attachments can be from the objects which we are connected with, and our attachment can be anything which is not connected to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. So now we need to learn the art of executing that completely and then moving upward. The more concentrated you are into readily accepting the Supreme Lord's supremacy, then we will reach the original identity. That's where we are actually going through. Otherwise, because of the flowery languages of the Vedas, fruitive mentalities which we carry on, we have a strong tendency to get stuck here in this world. Maybe as the same human form, or can be much lower than the human forms, or can be somewhere little above the system that's on the heavenly kingdoms. But still we are stuck. So in order to let go, Krishna is teaching this special yoga system, which he is trying to say that use my intelligence, making sure you keep me in the center and cut this tree. Cut this tree of complete attachment, and then you will be able to go forward. So we will further go through this very nice, very interesting presentation of these trees. And it is also, we need to understand it. So this is what we need to know. We need to overcome this. The description of the spiritual world is explained here. How beautiful the spiritual world. What we are getting is only a glimpse of it. But if you practically notice it, it has got amazing features. If you are attached to any of this single one feature of this, right, you would not want to be in this world. You have got like, it's an automated system there. But we unfortunately think that what we are in this world is the best option for us. Natad bhasyeto shuryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tad dhamam paramam mama. If you have decided to come to my abode, you don't have to be here anymore. Krishna is saying, Tad Dhamam Paramam Mama. You have come to my abode, you don't need to come back here. Why? Because my place doesn't need a sun. It is self-illuminating. You don't need electricity. Krishna has already made it all clear. There is no electricity required. There is no power required. There is no water supply required. It is all there. Everything is there for you. Whatever you need, it's all in abundance. So once you have decided to come back to my abode, then your job is done in this world. You don't have anything. But you need to have this. Those who reach that particular world would not want to come back here. But in order to go back there, you need to cut this attachment, which is the huge banyan tree in its nature. We need to throw it out. Attachment is one of the most last snare of the material energy. It will stuck us so badly that it is like a blue tag. You are stuck so badly, you can't even come back. So that is why we need to be careful. This is the presentation of Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita is a book which was actually the glorification of Lord Vishnu by Lord Krishna by Lord Brahma himself. So what he did was he presented it in a very poetic form. So that was extracted and this is presented. You see, the presentation of this is not easy. You can actually search for this. There is a wonderful devotee who has actually given the complete presentation of this Golaka chart. And this is presented by a devotee called Gokul Chandra. Gokul Chandra Das. You can search on internet and read his presentation. Very beautiful. So the planet and the universe and the presentation of the entire thing is here. We are somewhere here in the bottom part. Because our bottom part is only 1/4. And that is Brahma Jyoti, and then that spiritual realm starts. So if you have to go to the spiritual realm, you need to have only one connection. The connection is, it's in thin line. You can see it's some kind of a white line which is going there. That's the holy name. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. So it is connected through the holy name, and it is taking you to that particular realm where Krishna personally presents, which is the center part of the whorl of the lotus flower. So this is something we'll have to subjectively read and study and understand and analyze. And we will discuss this. Maybe Pratap Maya Prabhu, you should park on one session. We can only discuss about how this entire presentation of this Golaka chart is based on the Brahma Samhita. But anyway, if you have a chance, you just definitely go through this. As I said, that's the resource where you need to look for. Okay, Krishna is saying this. Another important factor is that Krishna is re-emphasizing that you don't belong to this world just for your own liking. Mamaya vamsha jiyo loke jiyo bhuta sanatana manastastani indriyani prakristani karshati. Every living entity in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very, very hard with the six senses, which includes the mind. There are 5 working senses, but also the sixth sense is the mind. So you can practically see how very hard everyone is working just for the maintenance. They're conditioned, including even Lord Indra. We spoke about this wonderful pastime of Indra. When he was here in this planet and he had taken a birth as a pig, and he was happily enjoying his life with the pig and piglets. So he was thinking, when Lord Brahma came and asked him, you are not supposed to be here, you should be in the spiritual, in the heavenly kingdoms, you are the Lord of the Devas, what are you doing here? He's saying, don't disturb me, I am very busy with my family life. So this is the attachment which we are actually stuck with. You may ask another question. So are you saying that you should not get attached to your family? Are you saying that you should not raise a family? Are you saying that you should not be a part of the family? Or is it all bogus? It is all some kind of a phantasmagoria that we are feeling? This question comes to all of us because this is a very factual question. It's not wrong to ask this question because you need a set of straightforward discussion. What are we doing all these days? We are with the children, we are with the family, we are getting our husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, all these uncles, aunties, grandfather, grandmother, so many relationships in our own family, in our extended families, many of these things are happening. So you may ask this question that are these everything very superficial, or is it all bogus, or it is all unreal? Answer is it's not unreal, but it's temporary in its nature. It's not that it is going to be eternally with us all the time. If you notice yourself, maybe your grandfather is not there anymore. So what is the relation you have with your grandfather with now and him? Probably only his instructions, or maybe his photograph in your living room. So this is the only connection you have at this point of time. But his instructions is the one which actually will enable us to be inspired to go to the next level. So in the same way, Shastras explain this very clearly, as Krishna is explaining in the Bhagavad Gita, that this is my original constitutional position. The living entities in this conditioned world, which is you, me, and everyone in this group, are eternal fragmental parts of the supreme absolute truth, Shri Krishna. Unfortunately, due to the conditioned life, we are conditioned at every step. We are struggling with our six senses. That is including our mind. There is no other way by which we can overcome this. This is what Krishna is presenting us. It's not my words, the Lord himself is saying that. So that is why Krishna is saying there is a method by which you can overcome them. The living entities in this material world carry out different conceptions of life from one body to another, as how an air carries the aroma. Thus he takes a kind of body and again quits and takes another one. Why? This is obvious, because taking another gross body is by obtaining a certain type of likings to the different senses and sense objects, so that it gets enabled him to enjoy a particular set. This is what he is trying to tell Arjuna, that Arjuna, don't think that if your grandfather is relinquishing his body in the warfare, that doesn't mean that that's the end of his life. He still needs to take another body, which is natural. Let him take something which is fresh instead of being stuck in this old body. So don't worry about all these things. So that is why this is very important for us. How Krishna has made us a complete subject matter into this small matrix. We have the gross body, we have the subtle body. The gross bodies are earth, water, fire, air, ether. The subtle body is intelligence, mind, and false ego. And all this constitutes inside the soul. And then what happens to them? That's comprised of that you are the ones who are going to take to the next body. This we discussed many times before. This, when the soul moves out of this body, it is going to carry only this ego. Real ego is not still there. Since we are in this material world, we are still in with false ego. Then we carry the mind, which actually holds all our desires. And then we carry the intelligence. We need intelligence in order to take to the next level. So in order to do that, this is the only three things which we can carry to the next world. So now, Krishna is our maintainer. Krishna is always the one who is actually giving us all that's needed. So what Krishna wants from us is, he just wants us to just simply follow what he's telling us. If he says, say yes, you just let him know that I'm ready for saying yes. But in order to say yes, he has given you the free will to say no also. But we choose to say yes. Why? Because here is another example. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness to this whole world, comes from me. The splendor of the moon also comes from me. The splendor of fire, that also is there from me. I enter each and every planet, each and every atom. By my energy, they stay in the orbit. I become the moon. Thereby, I supply the juice of life to the vegetables. Right? I am also the digestion. I am the fire of digestion. We all have the capability to go and sleep or go and lie down in our bed, but we don't have the capability to get out of the bed. Only when Krishna decides that this living entity can get up, we get up in the morning. Otherwise, probably we'll lose out. We are not in this body. We are out of this body. That we need to always realize. There is no other choice for us. So Shastras explain here that Krishna is the power, is the energy of the digestion. He also mentions that I am the ability in man. Otherwise, where is the question of moving your hand and body? No way. So Krishna is also wanting us. This is a clear awareness that Krishna is giving us, that we are dependent on Krishna, but we should not be proud that we own everything here. Krishna brings in that statement of thoughts into our system so that we show our gratitude and we show our appreciation and humble nature in accepting that we are dependent on Krishna. We are never independent. So that is why Krishna is giving us this very straightforward statement, 15.15. This shloka, if anyone reads, meditates, understands by hearts and keeps it in our heart, will never forget all the education which we have gained by now till date. Sarvasya chaham riddhi sannivishtam matasmitir jnanam aponam cha vedesha sarver aham eva vedyo vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance for knowledge and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. Right? This is very, very important for all of us, that we need to by heart. 15:15 is mandatory. Right? Result of knowing Krishna, what happens to us? Whoever knows me as the Supreme Lord himself without doubting is the knower of everything. Hence, therefore, engage himself in full devotional service unto me, O son of Bharata. So this is very important again, because we need to show that kind of an appreciation, and we need to have that. We cannot have any doubts. Krishna says, Ma suchaha, asamshayaha, na samshayaha. We have come across many words like this. Don't have a doubt, don't fear, do not make a mistake of not knowing me. This is very constitutionally what we are, because as a living entity, we are conditioned. So sometimes what happens, we practice something, and after some time, because of our constitutionally present in this material energy and nature, that we tend to forget. So sometimes we need to be told of, hey, you're forgetting this, please do it again. Right? So that is why Krishna is making sure that we remember all the time that he is the Supreme Lord and we are completely dependent on him all times. And he says, there is something else also. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one. It is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise and his endeavors will know perfection. Which is the most confidential part? It's the 15.15. right? The most confidential part of understanding the Supreme Lord is to understand that Krishna is this only worshipable, and that is the understanding of all the Vedas. You don't have to read all the Vedas because we don't have time. Time is very, very difficult to hold on. Every moment we are actually losing our time. The day when the sun breaks and the sun goes down, one day of our life is gone. It's out of the system. We don't have a choice to continue to be in this body anymore. We can't buy it by any amount of money. We can't buy it by any barter system. We can't buy it by any thoughts which you can think of or share it. There was one king who actually shared. You can properly see it in the corollaries of Srimad Bhagavatam, that there are sub stories in which one king shared his youth with his father, and he became old because he shared, because his father wants to enjoy this world. So in order to do so, those kind of facilities are not available to all of us, and not anymore. At least you can't say that, I was 40 years old, now I want to become 4 years old. It's not possible. So that's a fact. The most confidential understanding of the Vedas is that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and there is nothing to be bothered about anyone else, and it's that we simply worship him. Okay, so we come to this place called the material world. What is it considered as? It's considered as a prison house. How is it dealt here? The kind of punishments which we get is birth, death, old age, disease. Then also 3 types of miseries. These are the kind of punishments you get in this material world, which is considered to be a prison house, like called Durg. Durg means a fortress of a prison house. So prisoners, we are all prisoners. We are all stuck in this body. Our soul is encaged into the body. So we don't have a choice to come out of the body as we wanted. Because we are stuck in this body, we still have to continue to practice what is the best of all options to us. By Krishna's grace, we have been connected to the Krishna consciousness. So we continue to do so. Then we will not feel the pains of being in a prison. Because this is very important. The 3 types of miseries are Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidevika. The inflictions coming from our own minds, inflictions coming from other living entities, inflictions coming from superior beings like the demigods and other things. So then whatever we have, we are moving through all these 8,400,000 species, and we are stuck in these 3 modes of material nature, which is goodness, passion, and ignorance. So what's the only way by which we can come out of this prison? Because we need purification. As the normal prisoner gets kind of weighed off his prison sentence when he becomes a very honest personality who is reformed himself, this is a place where we need to get reformed. That is why Krishna has put in this kind of a prison house. So otherwise he would not, because we rebelled against the originality. The solution was not to rebel. The solution is to inquire and understand it and follow it. But we chose to rebel, and we said, no, nothing doing. I want my own place. So Krishna had to put in this kind of situation. But Krishna also gave us some options so that we realize what mistake we made. This is very nice on his part, that he showed us the path, and he said that, don't worry, you are making a mistake. I know you are making a mistake, but that's fine. I'm giving you the free will so that you understand it, that you feel like enjoying, but you are not really enjoying. You are practically suffering. But still, that glimpses of flickering happiness, which comes like bubbles in the ocean, is what is actually thinking us to feel that we are enjoying this world. But it's not so. So Krishna gives kind of small punishments, not by him directly. He doesn't want to give us any punishments, but there are agencies and energies of the Lord who wants us to become more purified, more clear, and become a complete gentlewoman and a man. So Krishna makes us make sure that by the energy, material energy of Prakriti, external energy, she is putting us through this process of punishment and moving us through the different costumes and making us sure that we are stuck with the strong binding ropes of 3 modes and readily stuck in this material world, which is like a prison house. But the only way by which we can overcome this is to chant the holy name all the time. Satata Kirtayanto Mam. 24 hours, 365 days a year without any holidays. No bank holidays, no Saturdays and Sundays. Every day is a working day for us. consider, contemplate, always try to do devotional service and the best of your abilities. Then that becomes the complete purification for you to get a early exit from this prison house. Okay. So another one, what we need to understand here is that one should always remember Vishnu, right? I always I said this, Smatavya Satatam Vishnu, Vismatavya na Jatuchit, Sarve Vada Nishedaya Shur Etor Eva Kinkaraha. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu explains this. One should always remember Vishnu and never forget him. All injunctions and prohibitions are based upon these two principles. Meditation is very, very important for us. We need to chant the holy name of the Lord. We need to do devotion service. We need to enable us. Srila Prabhupada actually presented the entire world with this wonderful, important, confidential knowledge. If not for Prabhupada, we would not be even understanding all these subject matters. It's extremely, extremely difficult for us to know. The presentation, what he did at the age of 70 years, he went to the West, he explained it with 2 heart attacks and a lot of heart palpitations and a stroke. And then he went to the West, he presented this philosophy of real truth, absolute truth. It's very clearly to all these people who are not sannyasis, are not renunciants, or the people who are practically living like you and me. Every one of us are here. So he presented this in such a manner that people have understood the real importance of what the spiritual life is all about. So this is all this chapter is about, but the amount of information you have it in this chapter, it's not sufficient for you to, it's not sufficient for us practically to complete this in one single shot. So what I want you to do is that you go back, this Yoga of Supreme Personality of Godhead, you need to read it and come out with these questions, because there are some very intricate presentations. Like as I said, the first sloka, Urdha Moolam Adha Shakam, it's very important. To understand that itself is a big thing. But why should you understand? I don't need to understand. I'm happy without understanding if I simply accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Krishna is also happy with that option. But when you understand, your consciousness becomes very clean and clear. Even if someone actually triggers you off with some kind of a negative thoughts and saying this is all bogus, they are just trying to brainwash you, they are trying to intimidate you, they are trying to give you all kinds of nonsense information, because social media is all about this, right? They are trying to influence us, our mind, our thoughts, our views, everything they are trying to influence, right? This is the people who are trying to say something against us most of the time. Why? Because they don't see a goodness. There are two people existing in this world all the time. One is like a busy bee, a bee, honey bee. The honey bee always looks for honey, the place where purity is. It doesn't go to a place of filthy matter. But there is another one which is as good as a bee, which is the housefly. Where does it go? It doesn't go to the place where honeybee is. It goes to the place where filthy matter is. So because of that, you need to choose whom you wanted to connect with. You need to connect with honey. Why? Because love is present. So the information is present in such a sweet manner that goes into your heart, that goes into your soul. Then the realization comes out slowly, evolutionarily, and there is a reformation in your heart. There's a transformation in your heart. There is a churning. It's like a motor, or it's like a whirlwind. There is a massive change, massive churning of your heart, and this heart will produce the serious amount of connection to the Supreme Lord and the Supreme Abode. Then you will realize all these informations will come to you one by one, one by one. It will come to your system. You don't have to do an extra effort. For that to happen, you need to practice by chanting the holy name of the Lord. The more you chant, more devotional practice you do, and be a part of the system. Don't be a rebel against the system, because we have rebelled enough of our lifetimes. So there is no other way by which we can rebel anymore. Because the more you rebel, you're going to be stuck. Just like anyway, you are in the prison house. If you go and fight with another prisoner, so there is going to be a black dot onto your career inside the prison. So that means that you will be pushed once more for another 1 year of reformatory sentence. So that's not good. But in turn, if you become a nice person, the warden, the jailer, is going to recommend you and saying that this person is really honest. He has reformed. It's not the place where he's supposed to be. he needs to be outside. He will prove himself that he is worth the world. There are many people in this world. In practical examples, there was some BBC documentary which showed that once one drug peddler, he was in a very bad position, negative thoughts and all these things, but he reformed himself to prove the world that he is a very good person. He's now a millionaire in his own capacity. So if the normal materialistic people can get and achieve all these things, how much we can achieve as devotees of the Supreme Lord and then reach the Supreme Abode, then that's where the spiritual practice becomes a natural habituate, right? Okay, we'll stop here. This is the chapter, but you need to go. It's just only 20 shlokas, 20 verses, but strong, positive, very, very powerful. So you need to go through all these things and come back to me with your questions if you have. Okay, we'll stop here and then we'll take it to the next level. If you have any questions, realizations, presentations, reflections, we'll hear from you and then take it. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vishal Prabhu. Yes, please
Yes.
go, Matthew.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I wanted to ask, so like when you said we have, did I understand it right, that do we have a specific time in this material world? Like, for example, when prisoners, they have, I don't know, some time, like, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years, something, and then we will be freed, or we actually, like, we will not have this option unless until we do devotional service and chant. It's not that I don't want to chant or something, but I was just wondering, how is it? Like, do we have this specific like time and then we will be free, or it's just all the time we will be here?
Honestly, we are always free. Honestly, we are always free. We are never stuck in this world. But the way in which it is showing us is that we are feeling completely tired. Sometimes the children's or some adults play this game or something like that. Tug of war, right? This tug of war is between two people holding their hands together tightly, right? I will pull you, you will pull me. I will pull you, you will pull me, right? But the feeling of it is something like that, as if I am holding him forever. But this material world is like that. The feeling gives you like that. But there is nothing called a specific sentencing for you that you will only stay in this world, in the material world for 100 years or 1,000 years, and after that you will be automatically released by, by presidential pardon. No, that won't work like that. Because we are stuck in this material world with the different flavorings, right? Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidevika, then the contemplations of all these difficulties and miseries coming in different flavors, that it may get extended. When you get purified completely, if you are called Miss Gentlewoman or Mr. Gentleman, and when Krishna says that this is the right person who is supposed to be in the spiritual realm, because the quality in the spiritual realm is completely different from the qualities what we have now. We don't have that kind of beautiful qualities, right? There is a story of Jaya and Vijaya, the doorkeepers of the spiritual realm, right? They did not make any mistake, but still they were rejected and they were thrown to this world. All they said is to just one word they said, stop. That's all the word they said was stop. But just because they said stop to very exalted sages, they were thrown out to this world. And they had to complete their entire tenure in 3 lifetimes. Because they were given an option, but we don't have that option. They were given the option of 3 lifetimes. They were given an option of 3 lifetimes or for eternity. So then they chose 3 lifetimes of very bad shaped situation, and they continued it, and then they went back. So, but for us, I don't think so. I am not sure about the answer directly to say that we all have, say, 100 years of our lifetime here. After that, we exit out of the system and go. But one thing I'm certain is that we have started the process of purification. We have started the system very nicely, very effectively, and we are in the good space. We are going good, and we are very proud, and we should be happy that Krishna has given and he has chosen us. We should be happy, right?
Very happy. We
Yeah,
are happy.
you should be. But provided you chant and do your devotion service, otherwise you are in trouble.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes,
Is memory part of the subtle body?
intelligence.
So that's like
Intelligence. Intelligence. It's subtle. Memory equals subtle.
okay. So we carry the subtle body like moves on to the next life also, right? So why don't
Soul
we
moves
carry?
to the soul moves to the next body. The soul carries mind, intelligence, and false ego. Memory is equivalent to mind, and it's stored with the intelligence. So all the three will go to the next body.
But we don't remember.
Okay, Krishna will give you some remembrance, then you will be in trouble. What if you are a dog in your, I'm sorry to say, what if you are a dog in your past life? Or what you are a tiger in your past life? You can't sleep. You can't get out of the bed. You will be in a very depressive state. So we are very happy that Krishna has given us something called samskaras, right? Samskaras means purificatory processes. As we are born, we all have a head shaven for men and women, everyone. When we are born, they shave their head, the first shaven head, right? So when they do that, automatically all your past thoughts get simply erased. Till then, the children's will carry that thoughts.
So we remember after we are born.
Yes, you will remember. That's why the children's are very clear with the subtle elements. They're very clean and clear. They know, oh, I'm scared to sleep in that place. I am not okay. Someone is telling me this, someone is doing this. We see that in the children's, right? Naturally. Why? Because they are there. Or they also remember. There was one story which I shared. Her name is Mana Chakravarti. She was a lady who could remember her past. So she took her parents, the current parents, to the place where she existed. So we don't want to remember what Krishna is. That's why Krishna says in the Gita also that I have been in all these different lifetimes, and I remember each of the avatars I have taken. But you also been, but you can't remember. He tells to Arjuna in the fourth chapter. So, but if the Lord gives us all these options, then we are in super trouble. We can't, because we can't hold that much amount of data in our existing brain, which is worth 5 paise. So you can't contemplate. So it's better that we don't remember anything of our past, but Krishna does give a chance for us. The material energy, which is Prakriti, right? Krishna's external energy, she gives us a glimpse of our entire lifetime when we are exactly ready to leave this cosmic manifested, this world, and ready to go to the spiritual realm. It will be like a trailer movie. Wow. You are ant, you are amoeba, you are Indra, you are Indragopa, you are this, you are that, you are Swati, you are this, you are that. Everything it will be shown. It will be something like a trailer. You'll go like this, end to end. Then you will be given glimpse on the way back. You will be given a chance to go see beautiful women, beautiful men, beautiful richness, amazing feelings, beautiful pastures, extraordinary vehicles. You can name it, everything. That's all shown to you in glitters. So all that glitters is not gold. You should only acquire and soak yourself to take only Krishna's lotus feet. Then you go back to Godhead. It's not easy.
Oh, wow.
But it's not going to be easy.
This happens even if we are chanting while we leave the body.
Sorry, come again. Little. What did you say?
This process happens even if we are chanting. So suppose you say, say we chant while leaving the body, and then we are given this glimpse, and
everyone gets a glimpse.
Attracted.
Everyone gets a glimpse. Just because you are chanting doesn't mean we have an extra 2 horns. We are all in the same boat as we are.
No, I mean like chanting while leaving the body.
Yes. You will have to be given that glimpse because Krishna wants to be pure. You are a pure soul, right? Soul is pure always. It is never contaminated, but it's covered. It's encaged like a capsule. It's like a cocoon inside. Silkworm inside cocoon. It's built its own beautiful box. So now the glitch is that when we come out, we need to make sure that we are still pure in order to go back to the spiritual realm. So in order to do so, Krishna is giving a glimpse because you may have your free will, right? Free will always exists to you. You are choosing what you want at every moment, but Krishna is giving that free will. He doesn't want to force anyone with his love. He loves us abundance. That's why he's giving us food to eat, everything, clothing, roti, makan, kapada, everything he's giving. So otherwise, why will he do that? But still, unfortunately, we are choosing our free will in a wrong manner every time. Now, this time, we have got a proper free will and we have got a proper understanding of this philosophy. We are somehow or the other related, connected, and ready to accept the supremacy of the Lord and his spiritual representative, Srila Prabhupada, and we are taking shelter of his lotus feet. So we are in a very great space. That's the advantage what we have. That's why we need to carry it forward with the same mentality, same consistency, same constant constitutional position. Clear?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I've heard of like people doing past life regressions and all that to remember what is their past life. That's why I was curious.
No, that is
What we-
quite a lot. In
Yeah.
that sense, there are many people who do this past life regressions and astral travels and all those things. But that's not going to fetch you anything.
Yeah.
See, it's just a waste of time. Maybe they don't know how to fill their timesheet properly, so they're trying to do in another manner. So maybe thinking that that's what they're going to get in on. So it's unfortunate. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Next. Yes. What's the next question, please?
Yes, we've got a couple of questions in the chat. The first
Nice.
one is from Pushpa Mataji. She
Okay.
says, Hare Krishna Prabhu, what if someone is attached to service? Do we also have to be detached to advance in spiritual life? So
No.
is attachment to service a problem?
If the service is devotional in its nature, you don't need to. You don't need to. You should get attached to the service in same sense as you are ready to detach from the service. Equipoised. The idea is equipoised. It's not easy to leave it and then also hold it. It's like having a cake and eating it. Spiritual service will never be anything in relation to the material realm. When you're doing a spiritual service, the same service will be shifted to your spiritual realm. So the more you get attached to your spiritual service, it's great. Just go ahead, continue to do your service, but you should be 100% dedicated. There should not be a small tinge of material thoughts in that. Because there is a story which is saying that one time one devotee called Kanchipurna, he was serving the Lord Varadaraja from Kanchipuram. He was serving. The Lord also was very happy to accept his service because that place where it is very, very hot. So this particular person used to carry water pots for the Lord to take shower. And then he also used to have a peacock feather in order to fan the Lord. So he was very happy, and then he was talking to the Lord, and the Lord used to reciprocate to him. And the Lord, he asked this question, "Oh Lord, I'm doing nice service to you, and I'm happy that I'm able to do all this service. Thank you for giving me the service." And then he asked this question that, when do you think I'm going to come back to you? I'm doing nice service to you. So the Lord also responded back, and thank you very much for all your service. I'm happy with it, and you're not coming to me. So then this devotee got shock of his life. What? I'm doing my service completely, meticulously, constantly, all the time doing service, right? Without even having any kind of anchoring. I just asked this simple question, whether I'm going to come back to you. But you are saying me, I'm not going to come back to me, and then you're going to be here. So then he asked why. He said, you are doing nice service. That's a business deal. Whatever you are doing, and I am responding, that means there is a business deal. But you need to serve a devotee who has realized the absolute truth. Learn to serve. You're directly serving me. Anyone who serves me directly is not my devotee. But anyone who is serving a devotee of a devotee of a devotee of mine is a great devotee. So you start continuing to do nice service to a spiritual master, and automatically it will come back to me. So like that, that's how it progresses. Okay. So services are eternity. It is our what you call in it's our life rights, you know, right? Is that what you call life rights, like for life? Pratap Prabhu, correct me if I'm wrong with my English. It's
Birthright.
Yeah,
Birthright.
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 Yes, birthright, correct. Birthright. It is our service means our birthright. So you should simply do it. And that will take us back to Krishna. Let the Lord decide. But let's do our service now. No service, samadhi later. Okay. Let's go to the next one, Prabhuji.
That Pujari went on to serve Ramanujacharya, didn't he?
Yes, Kanchipurna took shelter at the lotus feet of Ramanujacharya. Today apparently happens to be disappearance of Ramanujacharya. And he took shelter of Ramanujacharya and then served him nicely. And then Ramanujacharya, even though he was much more exalted than Ramanujacharya, right? Even though Ramanujacharya is none other than Lord Lakshman himself, but this devotee is exalted. So this devotee automatically become very dear to the Lord.
Anyway, okay, we've got more questions in the chat box. Neil Prabhu is asking about deja vu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, would this explain the feeling of deja vu in terms of past lives, etc.?
What would this explain? What explains? Can you contemplate and tell me?
Neil Prabhu, would you like to
deja-
unmute? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Where am I? Oh. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Deja vu is sort of like a strong feeling that you've done something before, that you've definitely, even though you may have not gone to a particular town or city or whatever, you just feel that overwhelmingly definitely done this before.
Yes, that's true. We get some feelings. Sometimes, you have this feeling when you stand in let us say you are in a 20th story building or a 30th story building, and if you see downstairs, you will feel like dizzy. You will feel dizzy, or you will feel like as if you are having a feeling of falling down or some kind of things. This is actually the ones which are actually coming from the past conditioning. So that also is a situation, because probably we've been thrown from a top of a hill or something like that. But that's reflecting in this format. That's all. It's probably reflecting in this format. Also, sometimes in our own house also, we feel like, I think I have done this before. I don't remember where, but I feel strongly like that. Sometimes suddenly you will feel it. When you're doing something, you feel as if you have done this before, but you're not sure when and where. So you just have to observe it, saying that, okay, maybe my past conditioning, and then keep it going. Yeah, it's possible. This goes sometimes, like for example, you're learning learning car for the first time. Actually, you're not learning car for first time. You're just refreshing where you have lost or touched off, right? Otherwise, how is it possible to learn car driving in 15 days or 15 sessions? You will probably end up doing it for more than around, say, 100 sessions also. You will always see that you'll be scared. First time when I holded my steering wheel, I was so scared that I did not know. And in between, one guy in the back, he was horning, and the other fellow in the front was trying to come front, and he was showing me all kinds of gimmicks. And I got so scared. The car trainer, he told me only one word: don't worry about both the guys. You will never see them rest in your life. Then I realized, yeah, that's true. I will never see those guys again. But still, I need to be conscious of what is happening to me. These are all reflections from our past conditioning. So don't worry about it. Keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next, go
Thank
to
you,
the next.
Sahil Prabhu has got his hand raised. Prabhu, would you like to ask a question?
Okay, Sahil.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes.
So it has two parts to it. What's the purpose of our life? That's the main question. So is the purpose of our life to live in a way, in brackets, so is the purpose of our life to chant and live in a way so that we can get out of the cycle of coming back to earth in one of the 84 lakhs costumes, right? 84 lakh costumes. So is that our purpose?
83.
Or
8,400,000 species. Costumes are species.
Yeah, so is our purpose to live our life in a way so that we come back to earth?
We don't come back to earth. We don't want to come back to earth.
Sorry, or just change our body.
We don't want to come back to this world at all. This is not a place where you want to stay. You would want to stay in a world where there is eternity, right?
So how can, so that you have answered the first part. So our purpose is to basically go to
the spiritual world,
spiritual
where we originally belong to.
Which is not here, which is not the earth, right?
Yeah, that's not in earth.
Yeah.
That's the
So
1/4 of the world.
if it's not the earth, then how can we be just happy, you know? Like how can we enjoy being here in the present and not feel that as if being here is a punishment? Like, should we think being here and being born to the mother that we are born to, in a family that we are born to, is it a punishment or is it a blessing? How should we live our life? Because if we think it's a punishment, then we will always live our life in misery. And if we think of it as a blessing, then we will automatically just be happy. We'll just accelerate the part or the results of chanting.
Very good. That's how you should be looking for. Never look at negative areas. Look at positivity. God has been very kind to you that He has put a chance for you to be born in this particular family. But that doesn't mean that you are ready to go to the next level unless until you practice all this. So you should be the person who should take that initiative for delivering all the family members. By chanting, by doing devotional service, you become eligible, you become enabled to help your family members to go back to the Supreme Lord's abode.
So it means it is a punishment coming here on earth.
It's not a punishment. It is your choice. You chose to come here. Why will it be a punishment? Krishna wants you to be purified. It comes as a package. Like, for example, we get married, right? I'm giving you a very straightforward example, okay? Please don't get offended by any of the examples I'm giving here. If we are getting married, sometimes we have ruffles, right? Between husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend. Will that mean that that's the end of our marriage, end of our fabric called marriage, or the social fabric of marriage, the institution of marriage? No. Prabhupada says that there is always, when there is a thunder and storm and lightning, you don't read too much about it. It's just thunderstorm and lightning and keep it going. So in the same way, we are here because not for just the punishment part. We are here to come in as a package. It's a package. We all have some kind of a package. So there are good things, there are bad things, there are negative things, there are positive things. There are many things which is not in your favor. There are many things which is in your favor, right? All these dualities are existing in this world for eternity. But you have been put in a good family at this point of time. You should take it as a blessings, not as a punishment. But you have a responsibility now. The responsibility is not just simply sit on that laurel and then I've been born in a good family, I have a wonderful mother, I'm very happy now. So this Prabhuji came and gave me a funda saying that I need to chant, I need to do this, I need to do that. And then I'm very happy with that. I'm not happy, I can't manage both the things. That's not the way you look at things in life. You look at, by God's grace, you've been exposed to this data. This data has been given to you because God has enabled you to understand that importance. Moment you understand this importance, then you'll automatically help your family members to be on the path of success to the devotional life. And then you go back to God. The purpose of our entire life is to understand the Supreme Lord, which we have forgotten. And we need to understand that relationship of how we have lost it and how we can rebuild it. Right? That is what is Bhagavad Gita talking about. We don't want anything else in this world. We are not going to carry any single thing in this world. You're not going to carry your mother, nor your mother is going to carry you, nor your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, everyone, no one. It's not going to happen. We have to leave. When we came to this world, did you tell that your mother that I'm coming to your house? No one. We don't even have a choice, but we have been given a blessing that we have been given a chance to be born in this family. That's the greatness of the Supreme Lord. The Lord has given us. What if you have been born in a I don't want to say that. What if you're born in an animal's family? Probably you've been born in a previously maybe a pride of a lion or a elephant or a zebra or an antelope or whatever, or alligator's family or anyone's family. We all would have been born, definitely, because this is the Shastra is explaining that. Indra to Indragopa. You've been born as an Indra, means you have taken a body of an Indra. Not being born means the soul is the same. There is no change to the soul. Only the body keeps variation. Right? You've been born as an Indra, who is the king of the heavens, and you've been born as Indragopa, as an amoeba or hydra. Now, you've got a chance to be born in this wonderful family you've been put. So by grace of the Lord, then you've got a chance to progress in your spiritual practice. So take it up, be positive, take everything in a positive lines. It doesn't happen by chance. This world is not that way. It's not that it is, oh, Prabhu, there is something strange here in this world. You know, Corona happened because by chance. No, it happened because of purification. Everything happens because of a specific purification. They are agencies of the external energy to cleanse the system. We discussed this. That is why this is called Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. This is a place where Dharma exists. And that is a place where we are fighting the war. That is why Krishna had to give Arjuna this much amount of funda. Otherwise, why will he need to do that?
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hope you are answered. Hope you are answered.
Yes,
So it is
Krishna ji.
not a punishment, it's a duty that we have.
Yes, it is a duty we need to take it up. It's not a punishment, but it has been a wonderful option for us to get purified and then practice in such a manner that you have taken the responsibility. You are now owning a responsibility. After reading Bhagavad Gita, you become a responsible owner to deliver your family members to the lotus feet of Krishna.
Prabhuji, it was a very beautiful answer. Like, it has really exactly answered my question in a way that I wanted it to be answered.
Yes, yes. Please be
Okay.
strong, be bold on that.
Okay,
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Wait,
Two
just Prabhu, 1 minute.
questions.
1 minute. Sorry. Anyone else? Anyone else in the queue, please? Pratap Maya Prabhu, anyone else in the queue?
No, Prabhu.
No,
No,
Prabhu,
it's
no,
just
thank
Prabhu
you.
next.
Yes, then just Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, two questions. One, why is the Lord's why does he give people different bodies? Why doesn't he just create everybody beautiful? Wouldn't that be like much? He's meant to be all kind and more merciful. So why does he create people who are ugly and some beautiful? Isn't that very that's not a very kind thing to do? Secondly, why exactly, if he owns everything and the Lord is
I didn't
in
understand the
charge,
second question.
is
Can you
the
repeat?
why is he, if he's the ultimate controller, then why has he given us this COVID-19 and put everyone into mass suffering?
To your first question, what do you like, pizza or pasta?
Both.
So that is why Krishna created both good and bad. Both are not good for your stomach, but still you eat. Correct? You know that it's not good. Pasta and pizza is not good for your stomach, but we still eat. We eat pizza, pasta, ravioli, you name it, you have all these things. You call it as Italian street food, but you still eat it. Why? Because variety is the spice of everything. Your life is based on those varieties of options which being given to you. Otherwise, you will not enjoy or relish this. So Krishna is very kind to us. He is giving you beauty to appreciate. He is giving you ugly to recollect you that, okay, this is not the permanent world I'm supposed to be. You have been given that option also to reflect on that. Right? If everything is beauty, then you will get stuck in this world. When will you go back? Krishna doesn't want you to stick here with the glue stick and then sit here. He wants you to go back to the Supreme Lord's abode. He wants you at any cost. He is desperate. That's why he's sending messengers over messengers over messengers. It's not that he has sent only one messenger and that's it, full stop. No, it's comma, 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 comma. So he's sending all of them for what? To take us conditioned souls, go back to his lotus feet. He just wants us to be there. But you are saying that I'm very happy with the beauty of this world. I'm happy because I see lotus every day. I see happiness in rose every day. I see happiness in every personality whom I see in every day. Yeah, it's good. It's a very positive feeling, but that beauty is only skin deep. Krishna is looking at something much higher than that. He is looking at soul deep, not skin deep. There is a book called Science of Self-Realization. If you get a chance to read that book, please read it, where Prabhupada explains where the beauty arises. The beauty arises at the soul level.
Could you put that on the chat, on the chat?
Yes, I can ask Pratap Mayadas to do that. Okay. So
It's
read that
on the
book.
Veda base. That book's on the Veda base.
That's it. You already have it. Science of Self-Realization. Please read that book and you have the answer for it. Okay. So that's the first question. Your second question is?
My second is what exactly is the purpose of COVID-19? Why
Right.
has it been given
The
to us?
purpose of COVID-19 is for you to get purified. Krishna has given you 3 kinds of miseries because he wants us to realize that this is not a permanent world where we are in, right? This is a temporary dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So it is a dukkhalayam, it's not a sukhalayam. This is a place of misery. So he is saying that 3 types of miseries come to us. Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika. Conflicts hit on us by the mind, conflicts hit on by the living entities who are much higher than us, and conflict by, there you go, Shahil is showing that book. This is the book, Prabhu. Jess, are you seeing that?
Is it the science of self-realization?
That's the book you need to look for. That is
I thought you said signs.
Oh, my English
I thought you
is
said signs of self-realization.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I've got that one.
That's it. Please read that book. There is a separate chapter stating about the beauty of the soul.
Right. Okay, I've got that one.
Based on what? That's it. Thank you for showing that book, Prabhu. And that's it. So COVID-19 is for our purification. So it's been impacted and inflicted on us. We are getting clear on that. So, but Krishna is very merciful. He has given an equation for us to get a vaccination. So keep it going.
Okay, that's enough for me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so anyone else? Pratap Maya is here.
I'm here, Prabhu. Yes.
Yes. Can you go for the next questions? We'll quickly wind it up.
I think that's it from the chat. Neil Prabhu's made one comment on the point.
Okay, I think we lost you. On the point of why we are here, I'm much happier knowing why I'm here than when I thought there was no real reason. Is there signs of realization? Okay, that's all. Okay, so we stop here with the Hare Krishna. I got stuck.
Hare Krishna.
He's back.
Back.
Yes, I
sorry
think
about
my internet is unstable now.
Before we conclude, just a reminder for everyone, it's Ekadashi tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So yeah, Ekadashi tomorrow. So fasting from grains is recommended, and also fasting till noon for the appearance day of Lord Vrahadev. So if you want to break your fast at noontime with non-Ekadashi prasad, and then Dwadashi is a feast the day after tomorrow. So if anyone doesn't have the app GCAL, GCAL, you can download it and you'll get updates on times of Brahma Muhurta, different tirthas like that, and the time to break fast on Wednesday. So that's just an update for everyone. Okay, so we've lost Vishal Prabhu. He's back.
Yeah, I'm back, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yay! We missed you.
I'm back because there was some problem. Internet.
Are there any other questions before we conclude the session?
No, thank you for having me. I can only ask a couple before I get drained.
Are you the spokesperson for everyone, Prabhu?
I'm not spiritually highly potent. I only ask 2 very good, meaningful questions, and that's enough for me.
Okay, Pratap, my Prabhu. Then we'll conclude today, and then we'll join once again tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for our
Please go back and read this 15th chapter and get back to me if you have any questions. But it's a very important chapter. You need to spend time with. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very much.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bo. Thank you everyone for joining.
Hare Krishna, everybody.